If you run a service business, here is a scenario that you recognize. A potential client asks you how much you charge. You either send them a PDF with your packages, which they have free, or you jump on a call to explain it. Either way, it takes your time. Or a new client signs up and you send them a list of questions over email. They reply 3 days later with half the answer. You chase the other half. It's another 2 days before you have everything you need to start. Or you want a lead magnet on your website, something interactive, something that actually helps people before they book a call. But a developer wants thousands of pounds to help you build that. And Typeform wants £50 a month to host it. The problem isn't that these things are hard to build. The problem is that no one ever showed you that you could build it yourself in minutes without writing a line of code. That is what this video is about. There is a feature in Claude called Artifact. It lets you build actual tools, calculators, intake forms, AI-powered apps that you can actually share with a link. Anyone can use them. They don't need to have a login or Claude account or subscription. And it works whether you use Claude in your browser or your desktop app. I'm going to be building 3 of them today live on screen. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to do this yourself. Hi, I'm Abby. I'm an AI automation specialist that helps your business generate more revenue while improving efficiency. Let's go. When you ask Claude a question, the answer normally appears in the chat here. But when you ask Claude to build something, a document, a tool, a visualization, it opens up a separate panel on the right. And that's what is called an artifact. So what you can see on your screen right now is what is called an artifact. So think of it as a live workspace. So Claude builds in there, and then you can see it taking shape in real time. And when you're happy with it, you're able to share it with a link. You're able to publish it as well. Now, here are things you can build with it. You can build formatted documents, proposals, reports, SOPs, things like that. You can also build interactive tools, calculators, quizzes, forms. You can build visualizations as well, charts, dashboards, diagrams. And lastly, you can build AI-powered apps where your clients interact with Claude directly without needing their own account. So we'll be seeing that today. We'll start simple and work up to the one that will change how you think about your client's experience. So let's go. So the first thing we're going to be building is a pricing calculator. Right now, if someone asks you what you charge, you probably send them a PDF or a Google Doc. They read it, they're confused about what is included. They email you back. That back and forth actually costs you time and money. It also costs you conversion because people who get confused don't buy. So a pricing calculator would help you in this regard. It will fix that part. They select what they need. They see the price updates in real time and they understand exactly what they're getting. So there's no confusion, no chasing. Now, we're going to use this part. So I'm going to artifact here, which is where we're going to start the entire conversation. And then what we're going to do is we'll pick new artifact. Once we pick new artifact, it brings us here and I'm going to click on start from scratch. Once I click on start from scratch, it will ask me what I would like to create today. So I'm going to just paste this prompt. Here is the prompt. And I'm saying, build me an interactive pricing calculator, all that. And then I want it to be clean and professional. So I then submit this and then it starts working. It's already building. As you can see, it's wiring up the total counter and everything. So it's not just describing a calculator this time around like you would normally get in chat. It's building the calculator. So it has finished building the calculator and it has told us how to use it. So you select your tiers across all 4 services and then the total updates in real time. It mentioned the different things that were built in it. As you can see, 2 action buttons, a summary panel. So now if I wanted to show up on the right side, I click on this button up here and then click on save as artifact and then it will show up on the right side. So it's coding it, putting it all together. Okay, so it has created it. So now I can select services. So you can see basic, standard, premium, different services and their tiers. And then we can see where it totals up. So if I select basic here and say I pick standard here, so what you would see is that the price will keep changing. So imagine if I pick this, you can see it's calculating the total real time. So it looks very professional and it works. Now, let's say my services are different from a social media agency, and I'll just tell Claude to update it. You can actually also tweak what you've already told it to create, and it will tweak it in real time. So let's say replace the services with brand strategy, website copywriting, email sequence writing. The pricing tier this time around should be £500, £800, and 1,200 for the three tiers. So let me submit this, and then you see it updating instantly. Okay, now it's asking me if it applies to the three services, and I'm like, yes, yes, it does. All three services. So it's updating it immediately within seconds. Now it has come up with the new services I've requested for, and if you do the same thing and you select the different tiers you want for the different services, you see that the prices keep changing, which is what we want to achieve, and then they're able to generate a proposal right there and then. This is something that would normally cost you a developer conversation, a quote, and then 2 weeks of back and forth and a few hundreds or thousands of pounds. And you've just built this in minutes. If you want it to be used by your clients, all you need to do now is to just click on publish. Once you click on publish and you click on publish and copy link here, this link, you can share it with any of your clients and it can be used immediately. They don't need to have a Claude account. They don't need to do anything else. You can also embed it in your website. So if you copy this, you can take it to your WordPress and go and use it. That's how simple it is. So anyone who clicks it gets the calculator. No login, no app, nothing to install. So now let's go to the second use case. The second thing we'll be building is a client intake form. So the average service business owner spends 3 to 4 hours a week on client admin. That could happen before the first conversation starts. So you're chasing information, you're waiting on replies, you're re-asking questions because the email got buried. But a proper intake form can fix this. Most people either use a basic Google form, which looks generic or doesn't adapt to what the client selects, or they pay £50 a month for type form. Here's what I'm building instead: a client onboarding intake form for a business coach. So I have the prompt here already. So I'm just going to paste it so you can see build a client onboarding intake form for a business coach. So it should include the business name, the industry, the monthly revenue range, top three goals, how they heard about us, and make it clean and professional, which is very key, with a submit button. So let's submit this and let's see. So it has started already doing its coding while we watch. So we give the instructions and it does the work. So we can see that it has created the form. Now here is where it gets interesting. I want to put a conditional logic here. Now conditional logic in type form is a paid feature. Now we can add it with just one sentence. So let me tell it, add conditional logic. So if the user selects monthly revenue under 5,000, show an extra question. What is your primary income source right now? So let's just submit this and see it do what it needs to do. So we can see what it has created already. But just to make it a lot more, interesting for you to get more information out of the client, this kind of conditional logic will help you. In other forms, you may need to pay for that feature. But here you can do it yourself and then publish it and send it to every new client before you have your first call. It has included the conditional logic. Now it's telling us when it's kicks in. So if they pick anything less than 5,000, which is pre-revenue 0 to 2,000, or anything under 5,000, then it asks the question. So if they switch to a higher range again, it hides it. So, and it says that it's upon submission. So if they try to submit, that's when that question will come up. So we can see how it has thought everything through before giving us what we have asked for. So we also know how to navigate through the form. In case you are doing an explainer video about the form, we're able to explain what to expect to whoever is going to use the form. That's how good it is. So you can publish it like we did the other time and copy the link and share it, or you can embed it in your website, whichever one works for you. You send it to every new client before your first call. They arrive prepared, you arrive prepared, no one is chasing anyone. That's how good this is. This is the one that I want you to pay more attention to. So everything we have built so far is interactive, but it is static. So it looks great, it works, but it does not think. This next one actually does. Claude can embed its own AI into an artifact, which means that you can build a tool that your client will type something in and Claude would respond to them, personalized in real time based on rules that you have set. Your clients don't need a Claude account. They also don't need to know that Claude is involved. They just use the tool. So think about what that means. So you could have a lead magnet on your website that gives every visitor a personalized recommendation, not a generic ebook or thing. What you have is an actual diagnostic that reads what they type and then gives them something useful. So that's what we're going to be building now. So let's build a business health checker. So I'm using this prompt in this case. Build an AI powered health checker for solo service business owners. Ask them 5 questions and all. And at the end of the day, include a call to action. Book a call at so. So having that very clean and professional design is good for your brand. So I usually like to include that in every prompt that I am creating, especially the ones that are client facing. Yeah. So let's watch the output. So this is an AI tool, not a form, not a calculator, a tool that actually thinks. So we can see that it has created the business health checker and it has told us the flow. So they would have this screen, then they'll have 5 questions with a progress bar, and then there'll be a loading state, and then they'll have like 3-paragraph AI analysis, and then the CTA would be book a call at codefreeiq.com. And then it told us the feature and it told us how we can use it. Just like I said earlier, you can embed this in your website or you can use the link directly. And then if you want to change anything, maybe the colors and all those different things, you want to make sure that it follows your brand colors, then you can tweak that here and do all that. But let's just try this and see what it will give us. So 3 minutes and so let's say about 15 hours. Let's say client comes. Let's just say referrals. No, not really. Okay. Let's say 50% of the time. And then let's get our analysis. So this is the loading state that I mentioned earlier. So you can see the 3-paragraph. I feel it's a bit too long and it might get people turned off. So we can give it specific instructions to actually reduce it. But you can see that it is tailored to what the person said. See, it referenced the 15 hours. It talked about the fact that it was referrals that they're using. And it stated everything they need to do right now. It advised that they should build a simple onboarding system. All that was what it stated. And then we have the CTA here. So this is a lead magnet, a proper lead magnet. And it was built in less than what, at least you were watching. So maybe like 10, so it wasn't even up to 10 minutes that we had this. And we didn't have any developer. We didn't have to have like a monthly subscription, no tech skills. And every single person who completes this becomes a warm lead because they've already told you what their problem is. So that's how useful this is, and I would hope that you will try it. So that's Artifacts today. 3 things we built: a pricing calculator so prospects understand what you offer without a call, a client intake form with conditional logic so you have everything you need before work starts. And then lastly, an AI-powered business health checker that works as a lead magnet and pre-qualifies everyone who uses it. None of them required code from our end. None of them required a developer. None of them required your clients to have a Claude account. So the principle is simple. Anything you currently send a flat document or a basic email you can actually rebuild them as an interactive tool in less time than it would have taken you to write the brief for a developer. If you want to build systems like this for your own business and not just watch someone else do it, I'm running a live masterclass on the 7th of May. We build together step by step. The link is in the description below. Subscribe if you found this useful, and you would get new videos every week. Bye for now.